Welcome to the Adult Basic Skills Professional Development video series. Throughout our productions, we are committed to excellence in adult education and professional development in basic skills instruction. The goal of this video series is to improve the effectiveness and quality of instruction through focused professional development. Today, our invisible culture is mathematics. It is embedded in our environment, in everything we do. In Adult Basic Skills, we as instructors need to show students the many everyday chores and responsibilities that utilize mathematics by actually using the forms, materials, and other items necessary to conduct everyday business. Much of the students' failure in mathematics is due to a tradition of teaching from workbooks and worksheets, often inappropriate to the way they really learn. Students often have little chance to do the problem solving inherent for learning math. We realize that adults learn math best when they see a direct relevance to their lives. There are many free and inexpensive materials that can help adults connect the learning of mathematics to everyday life. This video focuses on the use of free and inexpensive resources to teach competencies in computation, fractions, percentage, decimals, algebra, and geometry. The use of free and inexpensive materials can be used to bridge the gap between learning mathematics skills and the actual needs in the students' lives. Teaching the competency using hands-on experiences helps ensure application and increases student involvement and interest. Students can learn the concepts of measurement, multiplication, addition, subtraction, percentage, decimals, formulas, and geometry, all within the context of a project such as this one at Brunswick Community College. This class is using a variety of free and inexpensive items which are necessary to plan and build a house. The instructor shares her experiences of building a house to teach math concepts. By manipulating bricks and cement blocks, the students build their understanding of geometry concepts. This hands-on lesson allows students to interpret mathematical formulas and apply them to real-life situations, thereby connecting the classroom to their daily lives. On another day, students use floor plans and graph paper to calculate how much paint, carpet, wallpaper, tiles, and linoleum it will take to cover the area of the different rooms of the house. The students have a collection of samples of these materials to choose from and use price lists to calculate and compare the costs of different options. Critical thinking skills are introduced into the lesson through a discussion on how you want to build or decorate your house versus actual costs. Likewise, she asks students to put the stages of construction in sequential order. Which should be done first, the floor or the wallpaper, and why? Class discussion is a viable part of any lesson. While you may not be building a house, you can begin with the classroom itself, which is what this class at Fayetteville Technical Community College is doing. They are using their classroom as a resource to learn geometry concepts. They also use flyers and price lists from local stores along with newspaper ads to determine the least expensive way to renovate the classroom. Using mathematics for comparison shopping is an activity that many adults use daily. Comparison requires the concepts of money, decimals, place value, decision-making, and problem solving. The use of free mail catalogs and newspaper ads has already been mentioned as a free resource. Be sure there are materials from different types of stores, such as independent, warehouse, and catalog ordering, so that valid comparisons can be made. Other free and inexpensive materials can be found right in the home. Materials such as cookbooks, recipes, and home-style magazines. Students can use these readily available resources to plan daily or weekly menus, Then figure the cost of meals by doing comparison buying from the food ads in the newspaper. The activity can be extended by determining how recipes can be changed to cut costs. Plan menus using only the ingredients found in newspaper ads. Many adults today watch what they eat for health reasons or just because they want to look and feel good. Using food labels and math concepts, you can determine calories and nutrient content. Health departments and county agents have nutrient and food charts available for the asking. Many cookbooks also include this information. Help students learn multiplication and division skills as they figure a way to be healthier eaters. A record of grocery costs can be kept, then compared with the cost of eating out by using the free small printed menus that are used for takeout service. Also, ask students to keep personal expense records for 2 to 3 days on a sheet of plain paper. Often our adults avoid keeping such records due to a lack of skills. Teach the skills of writing, record keeping, adding and subtracting, while emphasizing the need to be aware of what's happening in one's life. Use a box of cereal to calculate the cost per serving. After learning basic math in practical ways, students can better relate to the symbolic representations found in algebra. Introduce equations such as how price per unit equals total cost divided by number of units. Related to the basic relationship, cost equals number of units times price per unit. Help your students generalize this information through discussion and by writing math procedures in layman's language. According to Dr. Jerome Bruner, specialist in language acquisition and learning, working together and listening to each other's explanations benefits everyone involved. Another example that can be meaningful to many students is purchasing or leasing a car. Ask students to list what they would look for when buying a car. Use the newspaper to compare cars listed in the classified ads. Most people have to finance a car, which means using math in bank transactions. Banks can provide free materials to teach math. Students can be taught to read loan schedules, figure tax on a purchase, compute interest, and learn the value of reading even in math. Insurance companies will also supply you with insurance tables. Students need to recognize that the cost of buying a car includes paying the insurance necessary to drive it. Several companies can be compared through insurance rates. Of course, after a car is purchased, a responsible owner will keep track of car mileage and figure miles per gallon of fuel at each fill-up. Teach students how to do this math, then analyze required math skills. It costs nothing for students to be assigned to keep a record of car expenses. Use this record to teach concepts such as math computation, percentage, and decimals. On graph paper, graph direct proportions on a coordinate plane to introduce geometry. Use the relation between distance and time of a car traveling 55 miles per hour. Formularize by distance equals 55 multiplied by time. Plot time and distance on the axis, connect them, and use the resulting line to make predictions about other points in time. Adults can determine how far they live from school or work and how long it takes them to get there. Graph this. Who is speeding? How does math affect this situation? How much will insurance go up? How late will you be getting to work? How much time will you lose? Here at Montgomery Community College, adults are involved in a group activity that incorporates word problems, a road map, and a ruler to plan a family vacation for one of the students in the class. The items used are free or inexpensive. The students utilize formulas to figure travel time, average speed, and compare different itineraries and different forms of transportation. Schedules and price lists can be obtained free from any travel agent in the area. Of course, it is always more interesting to learn when the learning is relevant. These students make learning more enjoyable when they use one of their classmates as a character of the word problems. Each question contributes to the complete story. If your students use checking accounts and/or credit cards, free materials can be collected to figure interest charges. Money, percent, and decimals are learned in a very practical way. Calendars can also be studied in terms of when to pay bills to avoid service charges and still get maximum interest on checking accounts. Ask the banks in your area for information on the different types of checking accounts. Compare them to determine the one that is best for the student. The United States Census Department and other government offices have much free and inexpensive information that can be used to learn math applications. Much of this can be copied directly off of the internet. Students can learn to estimate, project, and interpret using information about their state or even area. You can also collect tax booklets from federal offices. Help students read and learn the math skills necessary to complete these forms. Here at Davidson Community College, classes are held at a work site, Thomasville Furniture Company. These employees are practicing measurement, a skill required daily on their jobs. Math provides a powerful instrument for understanding the world in which we work. Over 75% of all jobs require proficiency in simple algebra and geometry. To cope with the demands of today's workplace, adults must be able to grasp the implications of any mathematical concept, such as chance, logic, and graphs, that permeate daily routines. Today's adults need some way to take off the stress of the day-to-day world. And believe it or not, mathematics is essential to this process. Our leisure activities actually allows us to enjoy math and logical challenges in the form of games of strategy, puzzles, and sports. Ask your students what they like to do with their free time. Apply math skills to the students' interests. Games are a wonderful way to teach math concepts and can be played in the classroom to teach skills. Games can be found on internet sites and they are free for the taking. Students can work alone or together. Use plane, train, and bus schedules available free at travel agencies or on the internet. Compare travel to given destinations by plane, car, train, and bus. Take into consideration time. Write to chambers of commerce to obtain maps. Figure distances between places. Locate parks, cities, places of interest using latitude and longitude. Teaching focusing on fundamental relationships using real-life examples serves to build connections between units in arithmetic, algebra, and geometry. This emphasis impresses the students with the relevance of their study and also helps reduce the anxiety associated with the study of mathematics, especially algebra and geometry. Authentic materials make learning real. Self-confidence built on success is an important objective of the adult mathematics curriculum. When adults can use their classroom knowledge in other areas of their lives, they tend to develop self-confidence. You may have many ideas about how to teach with free and inexpensive materials. Share your ideas with others to contribute to personal, professional development. This video should have just sparked your thinking about how to actively involve adults in their own learning in an inexpensive way that contributes to an appreciation for mathematics, an understanding of the logical concepts, and a recognition of math in all aspects of their lives. Free and inexpensive materials collected from all around us can expand the learning environment for mathematics. See what you can find, and enjoy teaching math!